I started treatment, so I was 21 when I saw the craft. Or rather, the craft saw me. I just turned 31 on December 18, 2024. In the summer of 2013, I was out walking around a very small town next to Cahokia called East Carondelet/Dupo, Paraire DuPont, which may as well be the same town, each being much smaller than the already small town I grew up in. That ex-girlfriend of mine had told me she herself was a practiced Wiccan, although I later learned she practiced if and when she needed to. Not only did I wake up one night and remember speaking in high-pitched growl of a voice that wasn't my own, I said the words, "She is evil," and immediately fell back out. Upon awaking, I told my ex, who was sleeping at that moment of my awakening, what I remembered, and that I also had a quick memory of a dream involving a blonde woman in a white dress who went down into cellar, and her jaw dropped and said, "There's a blonde woman in a white dress that everyone in my house has seen, and my mother tells me she's had nightmares of this woman choking her as she slept." Considering that girl later turned out to be cheating on me, perhaps this was a warning to me versus an attack. We dated for 4 months, and another night we were walking around back roads in the area surrounded by cornfields. One night it was me, my ex, Kat by the way was her name, and her friend Brett when I randomly looked back and noticed someone walking behind us in the darkness. Aside from moonlight and one streetlight that were in the middle of a lonely road that went for about a quarter of a mile, I pointed this shadowy figure out and my ex said, "I know I see it, don't look back it again." Naturally, curiosity couldn't resist. That's when I saw it walk under that only street light to find it to be a perfect humanoid that appeared to be made of darkness, a walking shadow if you will. We get further, I look back again. It's still seemingly slowly following us, but this time it was in the shape of a huge wolf that appeared to be running, but not gaining the speed it should have been. Couldn't help but notice it was an imperfect form, almost as if it was made of smoke and couldn't hold a solid form as the wolf. In either form I saw no features, no typical glowing eyes or shining teeth of a lizard or shark, just walking shape-shifting black smoke. I'd also like to add that I was born at an Air Force base. Although my dad received a dishonorable discharge from the Army on the account of my mother being a teenage mother who just randomly got uprooted from southwestern Illinois to Texas somewhere. And there are also at least 2 airports within 30 minutes of where I live. I even grew up in the town of Cahokia, named after the famous Cahokia Mound site that's actually located in what's known as Fairmont City, Illinois. I know aircrafts and what they normally sound like, and definitely have only seen 2 in my life to ever move or act the way the one that stopped over my tent did. The second time was a few months ago during the aurora, which I watched from my backyard in Belleville, Illinois when